Hey y'all. Hey Capricorn. It's your girl Javy. High Priestess. Back at it again with the general tarot reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2021. Jesus. Oh, Capricorn. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm doing my best to, between today and tomorrow, it'll be done. For daily tarot readings, check out my Instagram, justjeverything, and for other dope shit that I do, my website, justjeverything.com. Capricorn, I'm only doing important, what I deem important, astrological notes this season because Taurus season is very much so about the senses, tapping into your relationship with the resources that are around you, and some of those resources are your senses, your intuition, common sense. And so I'm only highlighting what's super important this season so that we can really get accustomed to that, get accustomed to leaning into your intuition. And I always say this about Capricorns. Y'all are like the undercover intuitives of the zodiac, but rarely do you listen to your own intuition. That is like my favorite Capricorn is the one, my mentor is a Capricorn. It's just like, when y'all get it right and start listening, you fucking get it right. And so, and Saturn sure as hell sees to it. Anyway, speaking of Saturn, that's not important anymore. Anyway, Pluto is now retrograde in your sign until October 10th. So what's been in the dark is coming to light, and there is this time to reflect on losses, things that you may be grieving, things that you're needing to sit with or have been sitting with for a very long time, learning to let go, reflecting on how you cope, on your coping mechanisms, on your defense mechanisms, your relationship to vulnerability. It's just, there are things that are being laid to rest. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And let's get into it. Hydrate, take a deep breath. So we are asking for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2021. I feel like if you're not excited yet, you will be. Especially when the closer we get to Gemini season. There is this lighthearted playfulness, especially now that Mercury is now in Gemini. There is this playfulness that's going to be coming back up, and figuring out how you play. Do you play well with others? That being a thing. But it just needs to be more lighthearted. Take a deep breath, Capricorn. I really wanted to shoot your video outside, but it got really cold today, and so I couldn't. The hermit reversed, and I had to stay inside. And that could be something like the elements may kind of be working against you still. I feel like for some of you it's nice, but you still maybe haven't been able to enjoy it yet. Full on the bottom of the deck, that's going to be changing. You are going to be getting to have your fun in the sun, your adventure. There may be someone with heavy Aries or Aquarius placements coming to visit or coming towards you. There is just, there may be something about some sort of feeling of like something out of your control. And that could be something out of your control, or something like keeping you from doing something that you want, or having a certain kind of fun that you want. The Hermit reverse, though, it just is like you've been introverted for too long. You've been, this is not introversion, this is isolation at this point. And Capricorn, I do feel like there is this rising out of that's happening. This letting go of whatever felt foggy or hazy or was an illusion. Four of Wands reversed. Some of you, there could have been I hear like the death of the party is what I just heard. I don't know. Like the end of the party. Or for some of you have been feeling isolated. Well, we all have been feeling isolated from like society and having fun. But there is something about like, or feeling on the outside. It's like there could have been, for a lot of you, like major disruptions in your home life. And for some of you, in major disruptions in a marriage. For some of you, recovering from a marriage, or recovering from the end of a commitment, or the end of what felt like a stable foundation. There is, it just feels like something is introverted. An idea was introverted. Not introverted, inverted. Like, there is something about, I just saw fucking, what's that? Those mirrors. A house of, like, the House of Mirrors, or House of, what are those, like, at those scary carnivals? Or like you're trying to like go through and then there's just like mirrors. I just saw someone like going through that. And it's not like the fun like, it felt like dark. Who put me here? I didn't walk through this door. Maybe some of you have really felt out of control. Like you just have been out of control of your external circumstances. Really, really big shifts coming in. And I'm doing my best because I have had like hardcore sessions with all the earth signs showing up. And you guys may be in just some place of really reinventing yourself. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, like coming to a harsh awareness of what is actually toxic and what is restrictive, and what ways that you've held yourself back, and what ways that you have not really given yourself credit for the amount of power that you've had. There is something about, and the Page of Pentacles, some of you may have got humbled in some way. Some of you are maybe recovering from ego bruises or wounds. But it's just like, there is just this opportunity to level up, to develop yourself in a new way, to develop what you pride yourself on in a new way. to develop what you value in your connections, what you value in a business, what you value in your relationships in a different way. But what I was saying is that I'm doing my best to like separate, and I specifically do that before my readings, but I asked to separate my personal experience from these readings because I have just had like 5 earth signs like hit me up over the last like 48 hours with like heavy shit that's going on, and for you all to be reaching out says a lot. It says that there has been a lot of growth and a lot of internalized analyzing, being like, what's coming up, I feel like also some of you are being way too critical, way too harsh on yourself. Especially about something that happened at a party or at an event, or some of you are feeling isolated after a party or an event, or wanting to like isolate yourself from some kind of scene in some way. And there is just a need to explore your relationship with solitude and loneliness versus having quality time with yourself and quality time spent doing quality activities with quality people. The Lovers, yes. Center of the reading. You guys are real fucking tight-lipped, it seems, because the cards are not wanting to come out. But there could be someone with heavy Gemini or Virgo placements coming in as the voice of reason. There could just be a lot of healing. Either way, there could be definitely new love, new connections. But this could be something that you love. You finding a new hobby, a new project, but absolutely a new person. By way of the Almighty, it feels very like fated, full reversed. It's interesting because it may be accidental. Maybe interesting. While you're traveling, there may be something about traveling with someone with heavy Gemini, Virgo, Aries, Aquarius placements. But there is something about, I keep looking at the footing on the Fool. There is something about making sure that you're standing on firm ground, that you are building sound foundations, especially in your romantic connections, that they're built on reality and they're built on your intuition and a knowing, and that the chemistry is there, but that it's not just chemistry to make a relationship. It's not just love. It's got to be like, you guys have to speak the same, understand each other's love languages. There's communicating properly. Can you effectively, it's like there's a need to reassess what is a firm foundation to you. Because it can't just be like, we like the same fuck, you know, or we both are in the same group or have the same goal. There's got to be, you know, love, understanding, like effective communication, compassion, a friendship, because the affection and all that shit runs out. That shit can die. That shit can get old real quick. 7 of Cups. I don't want that to be y'all's last card. 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. But we'll dive into it in the plunge. But Capricorn, that is coming up, because I do feel like there has been a lot of confusion, a lot of daydreaming, a lot of like shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or wishful thinking, or this could be sex, drugs, and rock and roll, psychedelics, substances, escapism. But it's like time to use that mental power for productive visualization. What is it that you want to like actually accomplish? What do you want to manifest? And for some of you during Taurus season, and it makes sense because Venus has been home in Taurus this whole time, there is this need to really get out of your head about the way it's supposed to look like, the way it's supposed to be, this ideal picture that you had in your head. There is something about understanding the ways that you've kept yourself stuck in regards to a brand new emotional cycle. 8 of Cups under that. 6 of Wands. 3 of Swords. 3 of Pentacles. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, there is this... What I'm trying to say is some of you are keeping yourself stuck, or you're experiencing the same patterns specifically within your love relationships, because it's like this is how you want it to be, or you want it to be this kind of person, or this kind of like it to look this way exteriorly, or feel this way, or I want them to have a certain amount of money, or a certain amount of skill, or there is just something that it's like it may be on the more superficial side, and it may be just keeping you looping and opening and healing the same wounds over and over again, when there is this brand new emotional cycle that you have the ability to leave your comfort zone and pursue, and still have this public success and recognition, but not chasing it from this broken place, not pursuing anything from a place of heartache or trying to impress anybody or trying to be seen. There is this need to reassess and rebuild on this new foundation, like from a really genuine place. And I'm not saying that you're not operating from a genuine place, but it's just like, just check in with your motives, check in with the why of things, and understand that you are healing from a very, very difficult cycle. And in that cycle, it's like, don't miss the lesson, because the lesson is, it's not just like, it's like when you know better, you do better. And you've got to look at it and see what's going on. You've got to take the blindfold off and look at everything for what it really, really, really is. Not what you want it to be. Not what it has the potential to be. What the fuck is it actually? So that you can not keep yourself stuck anymore. So that you can break free of these binds. With just a little bit of effort, you can be free of this. Free of this cycle, free of this fear, this self-doubt, whatever, these self-limiting beliefs. Some of you are really addicted to strife, addicted to rejection, addicted to working for it, and feeling like you need to just put your head down and work for it. And it's just like, I just heard, I don't want it if it's that easy. And it's just like, how's that working for you? There's a difference between something being easy and natural. And so there is just this need to not isolate yourself, but to really have productive quality alone time so that you can really see clearly all the options that are available to you. And all, like, for some of you, you're playing checkers when you really need to be playing chess. And there's opportunities and risks that need to be taken and moves that need to be made, but you're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting my selenite just dropped. Yeah, there's something about like your clearing or understanding or intuitive mechanism. There is something about rebuilding self-trust within yourself. And the way that you are able to do that is to really give yourself baby step goals, not these huge grand things. Commit to doing something, a minimal amount of something on a regular basis for a short period of time, so that you can prove that to yourself and rebuild yourself. I mean, you'll just start to feel happier and notice that the way that you trust yourself and what you trust yourself with will change once you really notice the foundations of things in your life. What is the foundation that you're building your relationships and your career and your emotions on? Let's get into it. All right, Capricorn, let's get into it. I want to go ahead and start with clarifying the Hermit for Capricorn. The Hermit reversed for Capricorn. Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2021. There is something about... Wow. Yeah. Okay. For some of you, there is some sort of like trauma bonding or some financial hardship, or some of you, this is like you really playing a protective role, really taking the brunt of the storm for someone that maybe is presenting themselves as broken in some way, or you're now seeing as broken in some way, feeling left out, feeling on the outside. This card is ultimately about excommunication. And so this is, the stained glass here is actually a church. And so there is this feeling on the outside, feeling untaken care of, the downtrodden. And you guys know this well because Saturn makes sure that you do. But also Saturn makes sure that the reward is at the end. And with the Hermit reverse here, it's just like, what do you really need to let go of so that you can create room to experience more awe? And for some of you, what you need to let go of is the idea of a love relationship, or how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be or feel. The idea of, for some of you, it's the party. For some of you, it's planning. For some of you, there is like a specific breakup or ending in a relationship, or a relationship that has maybe not gone as planned, not gone as daydreamed, as visualized. Sorry, that didn't help. Anyway, either way, it's supposed to be a blur. It's the fucking Seven of Cups. So there is this need to, and I also feel like there is some sort of misery that is coming up that you guys are needing to, or breakup or detachment or severance, some sort of, maybe some of you were let go, or some of you really haven't been in your industry, but there is this turning around, or maybe not connecting with your industry. The pandemic did a lot for people on that front, of course, but there is isolation that needs to be released. There is, please clarify the Four of Wands. For some of you, it's just like something isn't as sound as you thought it was, or something wasn't as fun as you thought it was, and you are maybe evading how you feel about it. There is this need to go deeper. Like, are you taking too much alone time and isolating, or are you not getting enough alone time? You just may be a little, There may be just something that's going on with like your spiritual life also. There could be, some of you I feel like have been adamant about there not being a God or not experiencing spirituality in any way, and your minds may be turning towards that. For some of you, I feel like there could be a lot of like fake deep people around, or you yourself are noticing how the ways that you may have talked the talk but not walked the walk, and you're in a place of really needing to walk the walk, or getting over just loss, conflict. Please clarify the Four of Wands reversed. That is the wedding card or the party card. And so I always but I also call it like my happy wife, happy life card. So some of you, there could just be disruptions in married life. Disruptions in married life or in your creative flow. Maybe feeling a loss of love or loss of a grand love in some sort of way. But it's still the Ace of Cups. Though it may be reversed, there is still replenishment coming to you. There is just this, it's interesting because just the view from this angle, there is something about, interesting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's 5, but it looks like even how the wands are melting into the cups, there is, into the streams of water, there is this realignment that's coming. And that's what I mean about finding your why, getting back to your why. For some of you, it's like the love you lost isn't the love that actually, it's like the cup, that's not even your cup. Some of you are in a place of grieving or not understanding the cup that you have, or the cup that you think that you lost, the relationship or connection. But there is restoration coming, replenishment. Please clarify the Lovers. There is this just new coming in. For some of you, there is, and for some of you, it's just like a new love relationship comes in and you're just like, oh God, I don't even know what to do. Like, well, fuck. For some of you, there are a lot of options, but what's coming up is like, look before you fucking leap. What is going on? What are the grounds that you're standing in? What are your standards like? What are the credentials? Are your standards being met? Is this what you actually want? Just make sure you look into that. For some of you, it's a hell yes. But it's just like, the difference is, the way to break out of that loop is to look at the foundations of things. The sun coming out here. There is just clarity coming in. Understanding coming in. There may be Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius, Aries, clarity coming about those signs, or a Scorpio too. Clarity coming in about maybe someone with heavy Leo placements, also with the sun peeking out. A false start or an understanding, a hesitation maybe. Please clarify the Lovers. Because what the fuck was I doing? I was given a reading somewhere and someone was like, but I got the Lovers last time. And I'm like, so? The Lover is about choice. It's about commitment. It's about being at a crossroads, but it's also about temptation, sacrifice, dishonor. treachery. Like, but it's also falling in love. But for some of you, there is like different criteria that needs to be met for you to fall in love, for you to enter into a relationship. And so it's like the loves that you've had, how have they benefit you? How have they made you better, or made you grow or expand or ground, or it's just like really taking a look at it. Would you just look at it? And how are the relationships present in your life? The lovers don't want to talk. Goodness, please clarify. Maybe because I'm talking. But that's fucking Gemini. Someone likes to talk. Please clarify the lovers. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This definitely is something like genuine and wonderful that you enjoy doing coming in. For some of you, this could be a hobby. For some of you, this could be just this understanding that some part of your life may need to be sacrificed in order for you to make room for new love. And for some of you, it's the partying, it's the risking, it's the, there could just be something about like the choices that you make, the actions that you take. Please clarify the lovers. Oh my goodness. All right. 5 of Swords. Yeah, it's like treachery. For some of you, there's just big choices coming in Taurus season about big choices coming in. For some of you, there may be something shady that you feel like is going on. Something that like your spidey senses have been maybe telling you. Some of you are cutting ties with people. Some people are cutting ties with you. It depends on who you identify with in this card, but there is clarity coming. The clouds fucking part and the sun comes out and everything will be okay. But there is this need to stop ignoring your hunch and really look at it. Please clarify the Fool. Again? The 8 of Swords? Like, that, okay. Some of you are definitely just needing to look at the ways that you're keeping yourself stuck. And it's happening in your thought process, in your trains of thought. There is this need to get your mind right in a different way, or get your mind realign, refocus your mind in a different way. Because some of you are being too impulsive or not impulsive enough. Some of you are also having, I feel like you're being financially irresponsible in some way. That's not for everybody, but at this point in time, there is this need to like have fun, but it doesn't mean blow rent. So that could be like a thing, or fucking up your bills in some kind of way. There is just this need for pause, for reflection, for you to really start planning and getting out of maybe you've been in this hedonistic place, and Saturn is home in Aquarius. So there is this, real communal, really future focused thing that's happening. You really thinking about the future, but it just needs to be calculated risks. And 7 of Cups, I'm nervous to clarify because I don't think I have time and I want this video to actually upload. But there is this need to defend yourself, from clear thinking. It's like there is an end of an era, and an end of a way of thought, and a new way to be. But it really starts with you getting your mind right and understanding that you're not a victim. You have the ability to really be a master, be a master of yourself and be more masterful with your energy, with your fire, with your cycles and the next cycle that you're going in. But what you're being asked to do is to really tap into this Aries energy and get very disciplined and structured and appropriately delegate and appropriately be critical of yourself, because there's success that wants to come in, and some shit that just isn't structurally sound needs to fall apart first. I love you.